Warning, the thoughts on this podcast are thoughts of our own and our guest. Please don't sue us. Bros?
あらあら。
Previously on Life, Tech, and Sundry.
Well, this story is going to really make you scratch your head. Are you sitting down? An NFT, non-fungible token, virtual art piece by the artist Beetle just sold at Christie's for nearly $70 million dollars. It has officially become the most expensive NFT ever sold at auction. And it wasn't just a couple of nerdy art collectors trying to outdo each other to own this piece. The bidding was described as being frenzied, and it lasted 2 weeks. We have officially entered an era where blockchain-based digital images now command the price paid for Picassos and Monets. So basically, reading this article, I'm looking at a bunch of different articles. Amongst these, the whole interview between...
And now, back to the show. Nowadays, life is intertwined with technology. Let's figure it out. Welcome to Life, Tech, and Sundry.
What's her face? Prince Harry's wifey, and Oprah, and like other subjects, other topics. Obviously, President Biden's first, I guess, address to the people, or his first little chit chat with the people. What's another one? And just the different types of like the Bitcoin thing. Articles about Elon Musk, and this one kind of just put a smile on my face a little bit, just because it just goes to show you. And again, please, listeners, if you want to comment or send us an email or whatever, please do. I'll get each of your reactions to this as well, and maybe your point of view is a little different from mine.
Or on Twitter.
At this point, or on Twitter, absolutely. So I'm looking and reading at this article, and I'm thinking to myself, because I've been looking at the NFT craze that's been going on recently, and I'm thinking to myself, like NBA Top Shots, that's another NFT where they're basically selling people digital cards, I guess you can call them, like basketball cards, for quite a crazy amount of money, right? So I'm like, are people really paying for like tens of thousands of dollars on gifts? Like, are we at that level where we have so much money where or not we, but people that have that type of money are spending that much money on gifts?
The royal we, if you will.
Clearly, you've never seen gacha game players.
Oh, hey,
Gigak himself.
Again, I don't want to say that is totally different or totally the same, but I do understand that gachas are in that same realm. I will acknowledge that, but what I'm saying is, like, are you really gonna compare a very cute, Nekomimi girl,
anime girl, yes. Say it.
Yes, against like a LeBron James card? Come on.
I feel like this is a personal message to me, because I've been touting about these cat girls all along.
Absolutely. It sure is, Marcos. But I mean, okay, and to each their own. I know everybody's going to have their cup of tea of what they're going to spend their money on. If it's going to be on a gacha game, great. I mean, I've been caught up in gacha games, like being in Japan and you're going to like a physical crane game. The gacha games in one of those like multi-level or multi-floor buildings of nothing but crane game gacha games, and you're trying to get the pretty Nami from One Piece, right?
Or Rem
or whoever.
Who's Rem?
From yeah, right? Yes.
Is it the blue
yes. I literally fell for it. Good.
Oh man, that's a good one. And and I've been in that situation, but when I'm thinking about digital art, and they're fetching the same amount as Picasso's and Monet's, like it starts it starts getting to me like, oh man.
Does it trigger you?
No. What it invokes in me is like, what the hell can we make in order for people to buy from us these priceless pieces of art? You know, maybe a picture of Marcos's feet. I don't know.
No, the caveman painting digitized, the one with his hand.
Yeah, we'll digitize. I don't know. Josue's McFlurries. I don't know. We'll try to do something. But it just goes to show you, like, people are really coming out and showing their support for these NFTs. So I wanted to know what your guys' take on this is.
I'll make mine for last, so everyone else.
So do you guys know much about modern art then?
Like Edgar Degas type of modern art, or I mean impressionism, or
no,
we're talking about
like not even more modern than that. So I am not an art person, but one of my clients in New York City was a very high-end art dealer. What you're describing now is not even the weirdest thing compared to what they dealt.
Really?
They were modern art dealers, and they had bizarre things that they would actively sell.
Well, like
this is more normal.
Would you
the
call
things
it?
that we're describing here is way more normal.
Would you call it a bizarre adventure?
Unfortunately, neither of them were named Joe. So.
Oh my god!
Imagine John walking in and saying, "Oh no!
Is this an enemy stand user?" So basically, if you want to get a sense of what modern art looks like, you can search Jeffrey Koons, Koons. Make sure you put art, because otherwise you'll get some weird Google hits.
So Jeffrey Koons, you say?
Or Jeff Koons,
Jeffrey
for short.
Koons. Yeah, Jeff Koons. They would sell some of his stuff, and it's weird.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. They look like blown up balloon, balloon figures, like a clown would do, and like different colors.
They just hit different, man.
Yeah, but they would also sell for $70 million. So
yeah. You know, you're right. That is kooky.
Like this digital art, at least it's art.
And it's next level, at least 5 levels, you know.
I mean, I guess it depends who you ask. I'm looking at some of these pieces by what's the person's name? What's this person's name?
Mr. Koon.
Good Lord, Beetle.
Oh,
so it's like a bunch of little pictures, all like placed on one like palette or whatever,
like the $1 Million Pixel webpage.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I see where people say, "Oh, art," but at the same time, does it scream at me $70 million? No, not really.
What's the then and the art, right? The art part, and then what's the NFT? Is the medium what makes it expensive, or is it the opinion of the observer, of the one that invested $70 million?
I mean, what's expensive about it is someone's willing to pay that much for it.
That's true.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, that's what. There's nothing inherent for Bitcoin to be worth $60,000.
Exactly.
Right. But I mean, I think it's all predicated on the fact that it's like on the blockchain based type of thing.
Because
that's why
I've heard hearsay, I don't know from where, that I forgot from where, that people would do art sales, art collections, and just to even be considered from other artists, they would add on a couple of zeros to the price of their product just to be even respected or considered. Oh, I see you. Let's say that it costed them to make like $10, but if you add 3 more zeros, oh, okay, I see the art in it. I respect you.
So you're saying that there's artists that just like uptick the price just to uptick the price to make it look like it's something worthy of art or something,
of appraisal of.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Versus an NFT, which has traceable. I would say, my opinion, my engineering brain say, oh, it has a certain value because of this data that is non-changing. I guess I don't know what the word is, because the tech behind it is that there's a trail. You can see what it actually is. Versus in an art picture, let's say a Monet. It's old, or a modern Monet or an old Monet. I'd say the value of the product is how much you put into it and the time. Again, the engineering side, but it's not, right?
That's a good question. I have no idea, buddy. To be quite honest, like the only reason I think it is probably fetching such a high price is because people are in that FOMO phase of the situation. So digital art just popped, and everybody's trying to get in on the newest, latest, cutting edge type of thing, like the bleeding edge of whatever blockchain based digital whatever it is, and they're trying to pay the money because they're hoping. I'm pretty sure they're hoping or betting on it's going to appreciate to even more crazy amount.
Yeah, the appreciation. Okay.
Right. They're trying to hope, or they're hoping that's going to appreciate even more. And $70 million is going to be chump change, like here in 6 months, or maybe to a year, or maybe 5 or 10 years, where it might fetch even more, like more money for that
Just
art
wait
piece.
until they include anime waifus, then they'll skyrocket.
I've been saying that. I was speaking to my brother about that when they have.
I can't wait for Sabers.
No, but the thing is, I wanna. I'm thinking right now.
You're
maybe
speechless.
maybe the people
I'm waiting more for like a Hestia the Bestia type of thing.
I'm thinking more along the lines where these companies in Japan, whether it be like a Shueisha, a Kondansha, or something like that, people that have the actual, I guess the intellectual property, like the owners, even the mangakas are maybe at some point they're gonna start, messing with this type of, digital art, digitizing their actual character that they make, and they're gonna start fetching for crazy amounts of money. I've kind of seen some people do it. I forgot the name of this person that's been doing, like, I think they have their owners or in some way, shape, or form of characters from like Cartoon Network and stuff like that, like Adventure Time and stuff, and they've been digitizing like certain characters in a certain, I guess, pose, and they've been selling them for crazy amounts of money. So I'm pretty sure superheroes and
the Justice League, Marvel.
Yeah, and like anime characters are going to be the next wave. People might say, okay, maybe sports is going to be a big one. I guess. I mean, what was it? Not too long ago. What's his name?
Digimon. I feel like that's a nice little marketing thing.
Right.
Nah, Digimon's gone.
But what's it called?
Don't you dare
What's
say that.
What's the guy that was? What's dude's name that was gonna box or potentially was gonna box Floyd Mayweather?
Logan Paul.
Right, Logan Paul made his own NFT Pokemon cards. He digitized those, and he's been
Is there a
making
legal
like
issue though
crazy money
with Pokemon itself? Do you think is there a grounds for suing?
No, because he put his picture on it. It's not.
Oh, I thought actual Pokemon cards.
No.
No, they just
put
use
his picture.
the layout of the card.
Yeah, like the frame of it, but it's not a real Pokemon card.
Or
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Then you're stretching it, Marcus.
What's the other one? The game card? The other one?
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, yeah.
That's where you broke it off, Marcus, at that point.
Has there been any anime girls in Magic the Gathering? Like characters?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I've never played that game.
Damn it.
But I
No,
mean,
that's
what do you
a
guys
different-
think?
Marcus,
Yeah,
you
that's a
can't have
different
your anime
section.
cat girls everywhere.
I refuse.
You're
This is
Neko
my
Baba.
pitch. This is my pitch for me becoming a president. Everyone should have a Neko.
No.
I'll vote for you, buddy.
There's a running joke that I'm saying that if we go to space, I can't wait for us to find cat girls in space.
Yeah. You and Elon
Isn't
Musk, my friend.
your favorite cat person from ReZero?
No,
Yeah, it
What?
is.
no.
Yeah, it
I
is.
suspected you were a Garfield man.
Right?
Garfield me.
Lasagna all day. Lasagna all day, man.
No, if anything, I don't know if you guys heard about the show Cat Planet Cuties.
No, not at all.
No, Marcus,
Please
that's something
elaborate.
only you would know.
Damn it. Damn it.
But before we get off topic, do you guys want to put your 2 cents on this last article? If not, if you guys have said
I'll go
everything you want to
last.
say,
Yeah.
we'll go on to Marco's shower thoughts, and we'll move on to the last parts of our podcast.
I'll go last. Anyone have any thoughts, opinions?
on these
so
NFTs.
I feel like this is just gonna spike all the way up to its limit, and then just plummet straight down. To be honest with you, I don't see this lasting that long.
So you think this is like
A GameStop?
And what I mean, yeah, well, what I mean last that long, I don't mean like by the end of this year they're gonna plummet. I think maybe in like 5 years, or maybe even 3. It's gonna
2.
just
rocket
maybe
you to
2.
the moon?
No, straight back to Earth.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna last that long. I don't because like a lot of people are doing it. It's not like we're Bitcoin. Like only very few knew about it, and then it started got more popular. So I think it might just plummet straight down. A lot of people are gonna lose a lot of money, and things are no good.
Millionaires will be made, millionaires will be lost,
Right.
but the
No, I
necklace
understand.
shall remain.
No, they plummet straight down to Marcos.
I'm starting to get the feeling that you guys don't like your cat girls, fox
No, I
girls, all
don't.
those things. Oh, or just girls, period. Huh?
Well,
Just really
girls,
quick,
yeah,
Marcos.
spot girls.
Really quick, Marcos. It sounds a little staticky. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Marcos, you're probably connected to the game with the VPN.
It's been away for about 10 minutes.
No, am I really coming in bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound glitchy, man.
Hold up. No.
I'm not.
I'm just sitting here. I was sitting here reading Logan Paul's eBay
No.
listings for his NTFs and just amazed that there are people that have actually paid money for it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
But like I
that's
said,
crazy.
that's not even the weirdest thing I've seen for sale.
That's what I'm
true.
saying. So is the NFT? So we're recording, by the way. So is NFT in itself, or the blockchain, not the selling point, or the art? What's the value portion? Is it the blockchain, like in a Bitcoin, or?
Well, let me put it
Probably.
in perspective of this, Marcos. If I can tell you right here, right now, I can give you
Yes.
a CAC girl. Would you give me any top dollar that I want?
Oh no. Personally, no.
Like it's reasonable. Like I tell you, it's like say you have the money, right? Say you're a well-off person, and I'm like, cat girls, I can make it possible for $1 million. Would you do it?
Like the NFT art itself, or an actual physical item?
No. I'm talking about cat girls here, Marcos. I can give it to you.
Anything cat girl related, basically.
Anything cat girl really. No, cat girls are itself.
Oh yeah.
Like 3D cat girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, you have the money for it, and I tell you it's $1 million.
You have the resources. I have the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's sort of something similar to that, where in then this case is more of a digital format. So it's mostly like a novel. It's like like a novelty thing.
A novelty.
I think, yeah, like saying I have it. Like very similar to like what I think someone said gacha games.
Or
It's very
cars.
similar to that.
Classic cars.
Where like in the game it's very useful, but outside of it it's useless basically.
How dare you speak about my gotcha games without fashion? No, I'm lying.
Did they mean it? Did they mean to call it gotcha games? Like in English, saying "I gotcha."
I think gacha means like, what does it mean? It's like, I forgot what it means.
I think it's a borrowed
It's-
word in Japanese. Again, this is me speculating again. But I think it's some sort of derivative or some sort of like borrowed word in Japanese.
Japanese is a borrowed language.
Like a double meaning.
That's a fact. Mogudonururus.
What's the
Yes.
joke? Coffee. How do you say coffee?
Kohi.
No, I think Marco's talking about the strawberry.
Oh, Ichigo?
Yeah. And he's like, he's not
Well-
strawberry.
right. Oh man, good times,
But yeah,
buddy.
but yeah.
Good times.
So,
So,
Yeah.
what are your final thoughts on that? Besides being a
It's not no
novelty,
McFlurries.
I mean, the novelty is
true.
it's a market itself with cars, cards, gotcha games. All those things are novelties, but it's a business nonetheless. art in itself is a business.
Yeah, someone's making money.
There's
so, yeah.
money being exchanged. So if it's value to the guy that's giving you the money, like for me, the cat girls, it'll.
Of course.
There's a business. If there's a what's the? It's not the.
If there's
buyer.
a will, there's a way.
Yeah, definitely. Never knew Marcos was a furry, but yeah.
And I'm not denying it. No.
Wait, what?
Full stop. No.
Oh man. All right. So you guys want to move on to the to Marcos' shower thoughts?
I'm good. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, Marcos, if you want to read off your shower thought, and then we'll proceed to the last part of
Yes.
yeah, to the last part of the podcast.
I'm triggered.
Okay.
There
When are you
needs,
not?
there needs to be a clarification on the form, on the term AI. Why? Because marketing has gone all the way to the point where even YouTubers use the nomenclature to market themselves. I mean, I want to be one, but I mean, I don't have anything that qualifies. But still, they've gone too far. There needs to be an agreed upon set of rules, like the accelerometer. And yeah, you know, I feel like I feel like AI should call themselves AI.
Like Allen Iverson, the answer AI.
Yeah, I believe that the term AI should be determined by the self-aware program to even kick off the conversation or created content. Hold any water, if you will. Granted, maybe the self-aware being wouldn't call itself that, but I'm getting sick and tired. Once again, sick and tired, burned out even of that term being used. My example is a YouTuber called I'm not gonna call it his name, but I'm gonna say the title. I used $1 million AI to prove light novel titles are dumb. You had to go to AI. I don't care about the light novel titles. Granted, they're getting
Grant.
Yes.
Yeah, I
yes.
was gonna say it's Grant.
Yeah. But still, AI don't get AI involved in this. AI didn't do anything wrong. And yeah, I mean, even on smartphones, they're trying to say, oh, they're trying to use AI to give you the optimal picture, or AI to give you the optimal sound with your theater system. AI for the self-driving car, which according with if I'm correct, it's just still programs. It's algorithms. It's not AI, right?
I don't know. That's the best I can do right now, Marcos. I don't know.
What about the marketing part? Are they burning out?
I think it's a little misleading. You're gonna call something that's not AI. I mean, I think we spoke about this a couple of podcasts ago as well, Marcos. I think Josue brought up a good point. It's like there's, I think, tinges of certain things that are like what's it called? Computer learning, but it's not in its full capacity what we would consider artificial intelligence. But again, that's as far as like I go with the information, because it's not my forte, and I guess you can call it misleading. But what isn't misleading? I mean, when we had, before having 5G, they had phones that said 5G on it, like like you really had 5G, but you didn't.
Was that meritable to be sued then?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I didn't hear the company getting sued for it, but maybe someone did, and maybe they kept it under wraps, or they just paid the person off. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan, thoughts, Jonathan?
So did you guys hear about the Microsoft attempt at AI making the chatbot?
On Twitter? No. Was it on?
This would have been about 5 years ago.
No.
Is that the one they had to shut down, or was that Facebook where it started
Yes.
learning too quick and started making their own like what's it called, language or something like that?
No, they let people interact with it on Twitter, which is a mistake in and of itself. And so they had to take it down
Definitely
because it was spouting out racist and sexist comments after less than a day of interacting with Twitter people.
Oh, holy smokes. That's
It was
crazy.
designed to be smarter and better, and it went full racist.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Which one was the one that it thought it was a girl?
Oh, I know. Hatsune Miku.
I guess. Yeah, that one.
No, because I do vaguely remember, I think it was Facebook that had something along the lines where they had turned it on. I think some sort of artificial intelligence that they made, and it started communicating with another computer of some sort or another AI, and they started creating their own like lingo, their own language, and it got pretty sketchy when it starts thinking faster or processing faster than humans can actually process and stuff like that, and could potentially do something, or a Terminator style situation might happen at some point. But again, that's what I remember. I'm not quite sure that's how it went down.
I mean, from a programming standpoint, it's really going to be a function of what are you telling it to do with the inputs. So, I mean, any of these bots that they're making, even what Gigaku's doing, he's programming a set of parameters. He's telling it, I want you to do these things with this data. This is what looks normal. We're going to feed all these inputs into you, and we're going to ask you to replicate these inputs based on these inputs.
Thank you.
And so it's still just input handling.
Some might even say cherry picking, huh?
I mean, the best part was how many of them were more normal than actual titles.
Yes.
That's the part that I thought was hilarious. Like, you could tell it was an actual title because it was just too absurd. Like, there's something wrong with that. But that's more common on the industry.
That's just that's just a comment on the industry itself, like you were saying.
I don't mind calling it artificial because it's programmed. I do question how much of it is true intelligence because it's still programmed. Like, even if you take something that's designed to quote unquote learn on its own, it's still being programmed and still being instructed in a certain way.
I imagine that Josue has a lot to say about that, right? About the giving it a treat and not giving it a treat. And with machine learning, was it machine learning, Josue? Or machine?
Me?
Yes, you.
I got lost. I was looking up McFlurries. You caught me in the middle of it.
Lost in the McFlurry.
What were we talking about?
That.
Wait, you mean shark thoughts?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it, compared to actually being intelligent versus, like Jonathan said, it's artificial, yes, because people are inputting data, but actually being intelligent in itself is not.
Okay. So calling it artificial is not exactly the right thing to say,
because it's being inputs. Like Jonathan said, like you are
Listen,
inputting.
I'm coming from McFlurries here, man. You're gonna hit me with these AI. Kind of. So here's the thing. He's right where it's just inputs, but it can make a decision based on those inputs. It's like you give a certain thing and it's like, what do I do? And it chooses on its own. Is it right to call it artificial intelligence? No. But like it's like almost there. It's almost being sentient.
Were you giving it cookies? to your little robot when you were doing your lab test?
No, that's different, Marcos.
It just hits different.
It's like right now, AI can technically learn. I think I overheard someone saying like the Twitter bot from Microsoft. So the problem with that
deep on
is
that McFlurry, man.
Yeah, those flurries are great, man. The problem is what are you giving it? And if you give it to the internet, then it's gonna go south real bad.
Like deep south.
So like I can never say a AI is racist because
it is if you program it to be.
Well, not it's based like what data do you give it?
Salutations, Marcos here. This is a message to all the listeners out there. There are links in the show notes for our Twitter, email, and even show notes. Any questions or ideas for the podcast can be sent via these links. Now, back to our regularly scheduled podcast.
If the data itself is racist, then yeah, it's going to be a racist AI. But if you give it something theoretically that's not biased or anything, then the AI is going to be unbiased. But that's hard.
So you're saying it can be tainted?
No, but yes, because the user always has a bias to something. So
yes.
In reality, AI always has a bias to something. So AI can be racist, AI can be sexist, something, because whatever you program, whoever's doing the program has a bias to something, whether it be good or bad. So it's just based on what the programmer wants. So if the programmer is racist or likes cat girls, the AI is gonna like cat girls.
Yes. Tell me more.
If the user likes cars, the AI is gonna love cars. It's just based on what the programmer wants.
And if it's the public,
if you give it data on the public, based on what the public is, then it's gonna go south real bad.
So are you saying that a lot of the internet was racist at that time?
I'm not even possibility. I think 100% yes.
What do you mean at that time?
At that snapshot of a time that the AI was sentient.
At the moment that the bot was up, if it got those results, then more than likely the data it got it from was race.
We see
it doesn't have to be
racist,
everyone,
but
it just has to be the majority of things of the data set.
Imagine if it could take the shape of something.
That's how the major function of it comes from the data set for an AI. Like AI does not work without data. Like AIs always have to have some kind of data set. If AI doesn't, then it's just a bunch of code that does nothing.
And that's what I'm saying. Why not just say I use an algorithm to output something instead of using AI?
Well, algorithm is used to, you're right, output something. But algorithm is based off of data. So that's why I said like AI is not sentient yet. It's guided. But it takes in data to learn through that way. Almost in a like, it's like you're telling it to go a certain direction, but you're still giving it like letting it learn on its own. You get what I'm saying?
You're basically taking technology and turning it into a philosophical and religious debate, because essentially you're asking, can you make a soul into a mechanical thing? Because I would basically argue that's sort of the distinction. As soon as you start talking intelligence and decision making, that's more than say what animals are doing, because they're acting on instinct,
on survival, preservation.
Yeah.
Versus humans, they do what?
I say this is because like if you give an AI to solve a maze by itself, it's gonna make all its decisions based on how can I solve this, either fastest or the quick whatever the main goal is. That's why I say it's not like if you don't give it like a goal, then it doesn't really. That's why it's not sentient. It has to have like a start and the end, and everything between is based off what the AI chooses. So that's why calling it artificial intelligence is not exactly true, because that's why I say it's like guided almost. Sort of like the easy examples like Tesla cars. Sure, they can, take you to the path, but if it's never had the path in the first place, then they can't really do anything.
And
versus like a person will like, okay, I want to go here, there, and there. I know the quickest routes. I do that. Like they already know where they're gonna go. Versus the AI is like, where do I go?
Well, think of it this way: the human is going to have a reason for going somewhere and is going to decide that. The computer will probably tell you how to get there faster, but it's not going to pick a reason on its own unless you program it to.
Yeah.
It still requires inputs and something that it still requires a primary cause to force it to make decisions.
Like, for example, I would never see in a theoretical or metaphorical eye to eye with an AI if I want a McFlurry.
Correct.
Because it doesn't feel the pleasures of a McFlurry.
Did you say McFlurry or McFurry? Because I'm getting both. I'm getting vibes of both from you.
Yeah, it's both. No.
No, yeah, that's like that guy should be a problem as well. I think because not the quickest route is not always the best route.
Furries are not a problem; they're a solution.
I mean, for you, maybe.
Okay, Mr. Beastars, best anime of the year.
That's why factors like if a
please
person,
interspecies reviewers.
That's why no, please.
Or Peter Grill.
Marcos, we're trying to stay online. We're not trying to get taken down like interspecies reviewers.
Or Peter Grill.
Peter Grill stayed, but I don't think it should have. But yeah, that's why factors like if a person randomly just comes up in front of the car, sometimes that can't always have the best solution. Or
did someone say Peter Grill?
He said, did somebody say grill?
Sorry about that, man. Just
I know. I mean, if you're in Death Race 2000 and you're programmed to get bonus points for running over people, I mean, the computer might say, "Let's just hit the gas."
Yeah,
gas.
Like I always say, like you can't program like I guess feelings, like emotion. There we go, emotion.
But what are emotions? Just of acts of survival, isn't it? At the end of the day.
And that's where it goes into the philosophical religious section, essentially.
So,
I'm very happy to talk about at length.
I'm good.
But I mean, that's why it's like, until the AI can be programmed to do that, it can never be actually like intelligent.
Can I be a meme outputter?
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it would do that easily. Well, it depends. Actually, like, do you want them to be good memes based off of what's out there already?
No, I want them to be cutting edge.
What do you mean cutting edge?
But see, then you have to program humor, memes. And as soon as you start programming humor, it loses humor.
What?
Like, do you want like the best of McFlurry's memes?
Oh no!
Or you want cat girl memes?
Yes.
But that's gonna have to be based on what's out there already.
Why not both? The Venn diagram of
you're asking way too much now. We're not gonna have some saucy cat girl pics of Marcos. We can't do that.
It's not if we can make it, but if we should make it, no?
No, we shouldn't. We like to stay here. We don't want to leave, Marcos.
It's like Jurassic Park.
We don't want to be booted out like interspecies reviewers.
Now on DVD and Blu-ray.
No, it's not. But yeah,
I feel like I've been memeing enough. But yeah, no, I just got triggered.
Like having AI is everything with something.
An AI hamburger brought to you by McDonald's or something like that. I don't want that in my life.
I mean, yeah, it could taste good.
An AI cashier.
Don't they have those already?
It's called the self-checkout
Yeah.
at the store.
Like they have the Amazon store now.
Yeah.
You just
Like,
grab
yeah,
your stuff and
that's it.
leave.
Yeah. Would you like paper or plastic? They ask.
Would you
No,
like to-
I think
no,
they
sorry,
charge you
just
5 cents
paper
for. They charge you 5 cents per bag.
Like how many?
I mean,
bags?
you got AI toilets in Japan apparently.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
Of
those are the
course.
best.
Oh,
They warm your seats.
they warn your seats. Caution.
Hey, what?
Somebody,
Somebody's-
they warm them. They
No,
get nice and
somebody has
toasty.
destroyed this seat before you, so be careful.
And they have the nice little rinse feature, just in case.
Anybody here use one of those?
Yeah,
No,
when I
that's
went to Japan, you want to get a nice bidet when you go over there.
Marco's just like, oh, cat girls, I feel it.
No, I'm good.
Oh man, good stuff, man, good stuff. So after speaking about Allen Iverson dancer for a while, you want to do the last part of the podcast? I concur. Yes.
The crowd says it, so yes.
All these
You wanna
squares
give it
make
a-
a circle. All these squares make a circle.
You want to give it a read, Mr. Marcos?
How about Mr. J? Go for it, Mr. J.
I don't know, do it. You don't have a. Oh wait, yes you do. Which one is it? Which one is it?
It's the last one.
Marco, which one? 1, 2, 3.
The anime segment.
Which one?
All of it.
Oh my gosh.
One more thing.
Like you cut G.
That wasn't it.
One more
It
thing.
was V3.
Oh god. I forgot you had that one too.
Sorry, Jonathan. It was just a running joke inside that I was doing that. I wanted to do the Halo thing, but I didn't have the time to edit the reverb and all those things.
Nice.
That's gonna stay. That's gotta stay.
We lost a couple of calories with that one.
あらあら。
There you go. Okay. So
Wait, what the hell?
One more thing.
Like you cut G.
There you go.
Oh man.
I couldn't. My
Alright.
head hurts.
Cool.
In a funny
okay,
way.
so Marcus, what were you gonna say?
Anime segment, please.
Yes, I'm okay, though.
Of course.
Gonna have to put the pen hammer on that one. So yeah, Marcus, what do you have for us?
May you read the segment, please?
I can't. I have the soundboard on.
Oh, okay.
Turn it off.
You want
Hold
me
up.
to read it?
Yes, please. Yes, please, Alan.
All right.
Read.
So the anime segment, the generational big three. What is your experience with these? And then you have bullet points for the 1990s, 2000s, and 2010s, I guess. So starting with the 1990s, you have Yu Yu Hakusho, DBZ, and Rurouni Kenshin. And then the second bullet point, you have Naruto. All right, so you have Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. And then the last one for 2010s is Black Clover, My Hero Academia, and Demon Slayer. So which of these do you consider, I guess you can say the big three, whether it be like, I guess in its time or by sales of manga or I don't know how you want to, I guess, split
I'd say
it up, but
bulk sales. Let's pull all their respective data and specifically
Well,
time
that-
frame of 90s and like the 10 year
if that's the case, Marcos, then we already have a winner. That would be the 2010s. Just by understanding the simple fact that back in the 90s, like as far as like the the market outside of Japan was pretty like it was pretty small. Like
Even the
you didn't
2000s.
get. I mean, if you were to go to Suncoast or wherever else you wanted to go to buy your VHS videos of these shows, like they cost a pretty penny back then. So I mean, it wasn't as accessible as it is today. Like now, if you want to grab like a manga for Black Clover or Demon Slayer or My Hero, like you're able to do it. I mean, for heaven's sakes, you have Demon Slayer's movie that's gonna hopefully come out in theaters at some point over here in the States, and it's like, you know, you didn't have that that option or opportunity to have those type of movies out in the West.
So you would say ease of access is thanks to that they're the top.
Yeah, that's probably why they're the top. I mean, in just like pure number metric, like of how many people buy the actual whatever medium they come in, whether it be a manga, a movie, digital download, movies. I mean,
Third party accessories made that be like toys.
Yeah, like anime figures or something like that.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think like nowadays anything that comes out is pretty accessible and it's global. It's not something that back in the 90s. It's like if you knew, you know, or saw the show Yu Yu Hakusho, you were like probably one of a few who actually knew
a 1%er.
Yeah, like you knew what anime was, or like you knew what it is about, you know, or if there was even a sub or a dub back then. I think it was, you know, for the majority part, it was all sub. If I'm not mistaken, it wasn't until later it got dubbed.
For DBZ, again, it was popular, so there was a dubbing for that one, but not
right.
Rurouni Kenshin, I recently saw it on Netflix, and I'm like, this is a good show, but in the mid tens. Yeah. I agree with you, unfortunately. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Well, it's not unfortunate. I mean, it's just you see what's going on now. I mean, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, and Demon Slayer have been coming out with, you know, great quality stories. I mean, people might argue like I enjoy Yu Yu Hakusho over all three of them, or Black Clover and My Hero Academia. I would put it up in the tier of Demon Slayer, but again, everybody's gonna have their opinion, right? So Rurouni Kenshin, I think, was an amazing story as well. Does it beat out Black Clover or My Hero's or Demon Slayer's story? I don't know.
But the numbers, really I think you're right. Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you're grasping at straws there. I mean, your favorite story is not going to be everybody else's favorite story.
Yeah.
Or how memorable the characters are, or
how to make you feel.
Right, or how the story developed. If there was world building or character development, if there was death or tournament arc, of course, that's always delicious, you know. And then you can argue you were in school when Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach was airing, so you know how popular they were. You know if you liked
DBZ.
One over the other.
I was running home.
Right.
To watch DBZ.
Right. And remember, you were watching reruns at that point because Dragon Ball Z had already finished airing by
Toonami?
Yeah, you're watching reruns.
Damn.
Dragon Ball Z finished back in like the early 90s, if I'm not mistaken.
The Gohan SSJ2 was in 96, I think.
Again,
but that was a rerun.
you might have to Google check that, you know, fact check that, because I have no idea like exactly the time periods or like the exact dates when it stopped airing or whatever the case was. But I mean, a lot of these shows like Yu Yu Hakusho, DBZ, and Rurouni Kenshin, when we got to them or when we saw them over here on this side of the globe, they were already reruns. Like for the most part, it like pretty much ended over there in Japan. But again, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, you know, I want to say we had like maybe a couple of weeks to a month of difference, but or whatever the time frame was of difference, but we were still pretty much up to date. I mean, understanding that it was like the 2000s, but now going forward, a lot of this stuff dropped, and you can easily access information on Twitter from the mangaka if he, you know, does a little drawing like Hiro Mashima from Fairy Tail does, or
you can send a hate text to him and he'll read it live, like in minutes.
Right, or I mean, or Torogoshi or Torogashi. I apologize if I butchered my man's name. That does My Hero Academia. You know, he also does like his Twitter following or whatever the case is, like, or he'll do something and it gets announced on YouTube or Anime News Network or something like that, or Crunchyroll does a piece on it, or Otaku USA does an article on it. So I mean, it's pretty fast the way you get the information of certain things nowadays. But that's how I look at it. I mean, personally, if I were to pick a story like that I really enjoyed, I would have to say Yu Yu Hakusho was one of those stories that I really enjoyed.
Where were you?
It was a great story.
Where were you when Yu Yu
I was
Hakusho
here.
came out?
I was here. I was in New York.
Jonathan, where were you when Yu Yu Hakusho came out?
Well, I was born in the early 80s. So I didn't, I remember watching Kenshin in the late 90s. One of my friends had copies of it.
Oh, nice.
And so,
You shared your shows via VHS?
yeah, we had, he burned me a DVD with a bunch of copies of the
nice.
files. So
There's the passion right there to share.
that's right.
What about DBZ?
I have never watched DBZ. I went back. What happened was I happened to
What happened was-
like abridged. So in the course of things, I watched DBZA, and I really liked it. And I figured that there was a bunch of jokes that I was missing out on, so I went back and read the manga because that was easier than watching DBZ.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
well,
I've read all 526 chapters or whatever it is, and then went back and watched DBZ again. Of course, it was about 10 times funnier now that I actually understood the source material. So I've read
Right.
DBZ. I've not watched it. I don't know that I could put up with watching it. I don't need to watch Vegeta power up for 3 episodes. You know.
You're right. You are absolutely right, and I tip my hat and my
Said to
headphones.
me.
So for me, the best is which is the best abridged out, and so that's DBZ.
It was the first, I
Team
think,
4
right?
Star.
It was the first, I think, wasn't it?
I mean, technically, the guys were doing stuff independently. Like Lanipinator or Lanny apparently did an abridged of Yu Yu Hakusho, which I've been meaning to go back and try and find.
Oh, you just gave me more stuff to watch.
Yeah, actually, what we should do is find Gigix movie or Gigix video on
Railroads.
abridges, and he mentions all of it.
Yeah. Oh my god. I just get excited with.
Are you searching for it right now, Marcos? Is that what's happening?
No.
I mean, it's the same thing with Naruto. Like, I could never sit there and watch Naruto. There's too many episodes, but I'm reading it right now. I'm actually enjoying it far more than I would have guessed.
Damn, you're getting it straight from the roots.
It's that talk no jutsu. It's what it is.
Oh gosh, that's the part that drives me crazy.
What part
I'm
are
just
you
gonna
in
talk my
manga?
way out of it. I'm like, dude, your charisma's great, but it's not that high.
Imagine in a bar fight, you talk your way out of a fight.
No, you beat the living daylight out of them. That's how you get out of a bar fight. Or if you're in the South,
Break
you just whip
bottle.
out your Glock and
Yes, absolutely.
A Glock off.
It's either the break the bottle over the head or the Glock. One of the two.
I mean, I've got a Taurus Judge, and that's like a shotgun for a hand cannon.
Little hand.
It's my
cannon,
pistol
that's all
shotgun.
it is.
Just
Yeah,
it'll
don't
clear
make-
the room.
Don't make me bring out the judge.
It's
That's
like,
right.
It's got a nice spread.
That's right. We're just gonna kill everyone between here and the door.
Damn.
Oh,
And
man, that's
what
good
about
stuff.
The 2000s? So the 2000s was Naruto, in your opinion. Did you experience in any other way besides abridging?
No, so like One Piece, I tried to get into. I read like maybe 150 chapters, and I just got bored with it. It was just, oh, we're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best. I'm like, guys, just stop.
You finished Naruto by that point.
I haven't. I'm
Like,
about
stop trying.
590
Do your
into
best.
Naruto. I got somewhat into One Piece was not my thing. I've not done anything with Bleach. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. Anything with like filler arcs is just not my thing. I don't have. See, watching this stuff is a luxury for me. I mean, I work. I've got a family, so there's not a huge amount of time that I have to sit around or that I get to sit around and watch stuff. So if I want to watch stuff, I like to watch stuff that I know I'm going to like and I know is going to be resolved quickly. Like I made the mistake of watching the first 2 episodes of Gintama. And it's absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
It's absolutely hilarious. I'm like, oh my goodness, now I want to watch it. And I look at the episode count, like, no, I'm not going to watch this.
It could
But
be
it's
like
hilarious.
Saturday Night Live.
It's phenomenal. I was like, oh my goodness, now I want to go watch Gintama, and it's 700 episodes. I'm like, no, this makes me sad. I don't have time to watch 700 episodes.
And
That's true.
so were you privy to these other series that were short but sweet? Would you say that you're because of time, would you be more happy with shorter series Like,
Yeah, so I have found the stuff that I really get into is something that's finished that I can sort of pick up, put down, pick up, put down. Because if it's something that's seasonal, I mean, if it's seasonal and you want to, and you need to stay on top of it, and especially if you want to avoid spoilers, well, that's sort of hard to do. Like right now, you've got Attack on Titan, ReZero, and Log Horizon, and I'm three things that I really, really, really like, and that's rare. And
Really?
I
personally,
have a lot of
I'm a
time to
well
step
done
on.
kind of guy, so Spice and Wolf or
No, the Lock Horizon is fire, man.
Especially the bridge. The bridge made it 10 times better.
Yes, and then there's a Gurren Lagann. What do you think about that one?
That was I watched a little bit of that. That was too much fan service for me. I stopped that one.
Or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Love Full Metal Alchemist. I've watched that twice.
The
watched
first
Brotherhood.
One? Oh, Brotherhood.
I've watched Brotherhood twice. I've watched the first one once. Absolutely love it. I would. That's something that I could pick up and watch, and I would watch that in a heartbeat.
Steins Gate.
Oh.
On my to watch list. I have not watched that yet.
Cells at Work.
Cells at Work was great, especially since it's one of the few shows that I've actually seen go into technical detail on some of the medical stuff. That was actually pretty impressive.
Right.
Konosuba. That laughter.
I too am a man of equality.
Yes.
That's hilarious. I've watched that several times.
Where's the flaws on that one, Marcos?
See, Konosuba, I liked it so much I actually went back and read the light novels, and that's extremely rare, and they're phenomenal too.
Wow, really? Oh,
Yeah, I do not read light novels, and I read that one, and I was dying.
Interesting. Okay.
ReZero.
What about like
Yeah, one of my favorites. Watch that multiple
What
times.
about the manga or anime Gangsta or Drifters?
I've seen both. They're an acquired taste. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Personally.
I'm not familiar with either of those.
Or Banana Fish.
Okay.
I've heard of it, not watched it.
If you like, it's an example for Gangsta is Banana Fish, but just in different locations.
Oh, as you're saying, like would you put Bakano in the same?
Yes. Or I was gonna Bungo Stray Dogs as well.
Once
Yeah,
again,
that's
I've heard really good things about that, but I've not watched it.
What else? What would be one that you would consider to be ascending in your opinion? Following those memes of ascending.
Of Ascending?
Beyond Super Saiyan? Like beyond Super Saiyan, or what are you talking about, Marcos?
Like, were you there when there was a bunch of hype for My Hero Academia when it was still a manga, like mid 2017, early 2016? Like, I was coming back from seeing a friend in New York City. I was coming on the Metro North. I see a lady reading My Hero Academia. That's like the peak of anime, like recognizing somebody on anime. Like, so, and I don't know why I was coming back. Another guy that was doing programming. I don't know how all three of us started talking about it. We say, "Sorry, what are you reading right there?" And they're like, "Oh, Boku no Hero." I'm like, "Oh." And then the other guy next to me, the 2 seats behind me, like, "What did you say? Boku no Hero?" And like, what is? Am I having a moment right now? Like, have we spotted each other, anime enthusiasts?
That's funny. No, I would say the stuff that would be more popular would be, say, when Harry Potter books dropped. That was like peak hype.
Is there an equivalent in the
Yeah,
Animeverse?
that's what I mean. You would have people that would take the day off of work because Harry Potter book was out.
Damn.
I don't see anyone doing that for anything anime related.
Damn. I don't know if I should feel sad. Oh,
Don't feel sad, Marcos. Don't feel sad.
get glad, right?
There
Your
we
audio is
go.
also choppy again.
Yeah, it is.
No.
But Marcos, if anything, we can just end it here because that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of the podcast.
I'm down. Is it still choppy?
Yeah.
It's leaking. The memory is leaking. But yeah, if anything, yeah, we can end here.
Okay. Want to sign off, Marcos?
I don't feel too confident in saying it. You sign off, Alan, please.
Okay. So with that being said, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to Life Tech and Sundry. We'd like to give a special thank you to Jonathan for joining us this evening, being our special guest. Jonathan, do you have any socials you want to drop or anything you want to plug before you leave? We'll leave them down in the show notes as well for this podcast recording. Please, Jonathan, if you have anything to say, go ahead.
I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. I'm just here to have fun and hang out with you guys. So it's not like I've got a YouTube channel or anything that I'm promoting. So this is more just an enjoyable opportunity to talk with you guys.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Jonathan. We really appreciate you coming through and hanging out with us. It's been like a really great convo. Thank you again. Marcos, do you have any thing that you want to end off on?
Stay frosty, everyone.
Very good, sir. Josue, any final thoughts, brother?
I'm still waiting for that
Mr.
McFlurry.
Oh, okay. We'll let Mr. J wait for that McFlurry then. But any final thoughts before we end?
No, not me.
Nope. That's it.
Okay. We'll end it there. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us. On behalf of LTS, we'd like to say thank you. And we will be back, was it Tuesday and Thursday? So hope to connect with you guys again soon. All right, everyone. Peace.
Hi there. Thank you for tuning in to the LTS podcast. All the notes and more can be found in the description. By the way, we have a social media page where content is posted regularly. Feel free to reach out at us through there or via email. Both are found in the description. When you support the show, we have a merch store where you can buy an item that you like. If buying merch is not your thing and you just want to support the show directly, we also have links to those too, if you'd like. Thank you. Also, every comment is really appreciated. Credits in the description as well. Peace.